Hey, Maria Cullimore here. I wanted to talk today about boundaries. You know, I used to hear other people talk about they need to work on their boundaries, they need to work on their boundaries. It's like, what is this boundaries thing, right? And it's like a trigger word now. Everybody's using it. Okay. So I don't think I used to call it boundaries. I just knew what I would and would not do and what I will and will not accept. That's how I used to refer to it before. And I knew when you were pushing me to uncomfortable and when, sorry, not you were pushing me, when our interaction made me uncomfortable and when it didn't. Things I definitely didn't like, experiences I definitely didn't like, experiences I could tolerate. Now, I had a high tolerance in general. People say I was a people pleaser, don't mind that. Okay, maybe a little bit. Maybe still am. Who cares? Anyway, the point I'm making is I started to understand that what stating what I didn't like before I knew the ugly was coming was a good way of prepping people. It didn't, however, as I grew older, make people behave differently. And my boundary would lead to, you breach of my boundary used to lead to blows before. And I don't mean, yeah, like fights. Like when I was at school, that was the whole issue with it. I'd say, okay, please don't do this. This is irritating me, or I don't like it. And the person would ignore the warning and ignore the warning. And I'd give you up to 3 times. And the third time, invariably, I'd pick you up and toss you or hit you or whatever. Because that is what I thought had to be the end result. Now I'm older. I understand. I have more power than that. I don't have to physically hit you. I can walk away. I can shut down. I can excuse myself. I still have the power to do what suits me. I can end the conversation, all kinds of things that I didn't realize. Now, what is required to even enforce boundaries is a certain level of assertion, as in a clearness, a firmness, a change of body language, so that people are aware we're not in the same mode and it's not okay. So, for example, someone shouts at you and you say, "Are you shouting at me? Oh, I don't appreciate being shouted at. Can you stop it?" And the person goes back and 2 seconds later the raising voice and says, "Right." And you can have a conversation with me in a lower tone where everybody else doesn't know we're having this conversation. Then we could talk. But I'm not trying to change your behavior. I'm just trying to explain to you the things I don't like, the things that makes me edgy, the things that makes me uncomfortable. You have every right to your boundaries. But sometimes I've noticed in relationships, when we're in a good mood or whatever, we let our boundaries slip. And then later on, when it's irritating us, then we want to react. But now the person doesn't take us seriously. So, first of all, it comes down to how honest are you with yourself. If you don't like something, and even if in the moment you didn't realize how much you didn't like it, after acknowledge, okay, but I don't like it though. So either you have the option to go back and tell the person, or it's more of a note to self. We'll address this earlier next time. Sometimes it's a case of people often get offended for me. I remember when people would get offended when other people called me fat. What the difference they didn't understand though was I don't have an issue with being called fat because I like fat. I like fat people. I like the chunkiness, the softness. There's things about it I absolutely adore. Especially when my daughter brought to my attention, she said, "Mommy, you're so fat." And I go, and ready for a battle. And she said, "I'm soft." And then now when people call me fat, I instantaneously associate it with her. So I said, I know, stop. So you can't faze me with it because it's something I've made peace with. Really, it's why you need boundaries in the first place, because they're areas of yourself you aren't comfortable with. But that's another subject. We're not dealing with the things we're not comfortable with. We're dealing with the things you allow in because you don't set the boundary. So let me tell you something that I have noticed is a male-female interaction here a lot. The need for the male partner to ask the female partner, or actually, you know what? It isn't actually male to female, it's generally across the board. This need to ask the next person where they're going. What do you need to know where somebody's going? You have a whole 24 hours in a day. You got things to do for your own self. You got other people got things to do. Why are you policing them? And it's really a sign of your own insecurity. Now, let me explain something. If someone has hurt you, if you've heard a few bad stories about other people who've gotten hurt, the way to protect yourself is not to torment the person you're with all these questions and assumptions and these conjured up ideas that happen in your head. Actually, it is the key to where often cheating comes from. You started it in your thoughts. And what we don't realize is how powerful our thoughts is. So if you're out there thinking that I'm cheating on you, you are creating the experience at the same time. Because actually, the cheat needs to become less and less of a physical, did we have sex kind of cheat? Because that used to be for what people thought cheating is. But cheating now is emotional. It's a whole bonding with anybody else other than it's a whole trusting other people with your information. It has layers now. So guess what? What about trusting yourself, one, and then trusting them, and then not conjuring up ideas? Make yourself so sweet there's nothing anybody would want to cheat on. Not this constant, where are you? What are you doing? If a person is going to cheat on you, there is nothing you can pretty much do to stop it. Except handle, how will I handle this if it does happen? What is my best case scenario? And you know what would really help us? If we started to recognize a person that I am interested in is not my possession. They're another individual I happen to like. And nobody can cheat on me. People cheat on themselves. They cheat on what this relationship could have given. They cheat on where this relationship could go. They're not cheating on you. And if you remove that belief system of one, they belong to you, and two, they can cheat on you, you remove a ton of stress out of that relationship and relax yourself. Stop torturing people. But also to the partner who answers, stop it. Stop encouraging that belief system or that it's okay for you to ask me that. You either trust me or you don't trust me. But I can't make you trust me. It's not something I can make you trust. You have to know the stage at which you trust me. And if you don't think I'm worthy of your trust, then leave me alone. It is pointless us getting into a relationship because I can't spend my whole relationship constantly apologizing for your thoughts, because that's what you're asking the person to do. Apologize to me. Calm my fear. I can't calm your fears. You have to deal with your own fears. And we have this tendency of taking on other people's fears and being responsible for them. And then you're upset because this body. If I'm asking something of you that is unreasonable, say it. That is an unreasonable request. That is a hard to maintain request. I don't see the purpose of that information. Is there something specific you'd like to know? Like, is it that you want me to buy you something? Or am I passing a particular way? Ask that question, but don't ask me where I am. It's none of your business. And you mustn't practice yourself to believe it is. Just something I wanted y'all to know about boundaries. That sometimes it's how early you give permission that to let people abuse you, that they breach your boundaries. You answer things you need not answer. But remember today, a boundary is also a sign of an area you need to work on, but it is an area you need to protect. Everybody that hollers doesn't mean they're mean, so sometimes you can relax yourself. Just saying, have a fantastic day.